the cross, who looked like some gay hater's fantasy with curly chestnut hair. I don't know how this bondieuserie was sold. Maybe Pellegrini's had some kind of primitive mail-order catalogue, or maybe there was a salesman with a Holden panel van lugging the samples from church to church, plaster Teresas and Bernadettes, virgins holding stems of plaster lilies priced at so much per inch of height. How one could be expected to pray through, to, or in front of this rubbish was an abiding mystery to me. As far as I could discover, there was not one work of religious art in Australia that anyone except a weak-minded nun, and a lay sister at that, could call authentic. Where could one see the real thing? Clearly, only in Rome. How would one know what feeling in religious art actually was authentic? By going to Rome. Come down to it, how would one know that art of any kind was any good? Mainly, if not only, by going to Rome and seeing the real thing in the real place. Rome would be my entry door to Italy and then to the rest of Europe, and with that would come sophistication and taste and possibly even spirituality, not to mention all the other, more earthly delights I was also looking forward to. From this distance, I am embarrassed to admit that I can no longer remember their names, but to me they looked just like the girls I saw in Italian movies. If I was lucky, I might even be able to latch onto some of those unbearably chic pants, jackets, and thin-walled shoes from Via Condotti, though where the money would come from, I didn't know. When I finally got there, in May 1959, much of this turned out to be true. Nothing exceeds the delight of one's first immersion in Rome on a fine spring morning, even if it is not provoked by the sight of any particular work of art. The enveloping light can be of an incomparable clarity, throwing into gentle vividness every detail presented to the eye. First, the colour, which was not like the colour of other cities I had been in, not concrete colour, not cold glass colour, nor the colour of overburnt brick or harshly pigmented paint. Rather, the worn organic colours of the ancient earth and stone of which the city is composed, the colours of limestone, the ruddy grey of tufa, the warm discoloration of once white marble, and the speckled, rich surface of the marble known as pavonazzo, dappled with white spots and inclusions like the fat in a slice of mortadella. For an eye used to the more commonplace, uniform surfaces of 20th century building, all this looks wonderfully, seductively rich, without seeming overworked. The very trees were springing tender green, not the more pervasive drab grey of the Australian eucalypts I was used to. Some of them were in blossom, the pink and white bursting into bloom of the oleanders by the roadsides. Azaleas were everywhere, especially on the Spanish steps. I had been lucky enough to get to Rome at the very time of the year when florists bank the Scalinata di Spagna with row after row, mass upon mass of those shrubs, whose flowers were all the sweeter for being short-lived. And it was not only the flowers that looked festive. The vegetables were burgeoning in the markets, especially the Campo dei Fiori. Their sellers did not want to constrain them. Bunches of thyme, branches of rosemary, parsley, bundled-up masses of basil filling the air with their perfume. Here a mountain of sweet peppers, scarlet, orange, yellow, even black. There a crate filled with the swollen purple truncheons of eggplants. Next to that, a parade of tomatoes, fairly bursting with ripeness, the red, egg-shaped San Marzanos for sauce, the broad-girthed slicing tomatoes, the ribbed ones for salads, the green baby ones. Even the potato, a dull-looking growth as a rule, took on a sort of tuberous grandeur in this Mediterranean light. Then there became apparent something of a kind I had never seen at home in Australia. All this vegetable glory, this tide of many-coloured life, this